All right, this is We the People News. One more time at it. Educational purposes only, not attorney, not giving legal advice. All right. Anything I say or do is just my opinion only. All right. Due to my research, my understanding, my comprehension, never look just straightforward. Okay. Be able to protect yourself by any means necessary. So this can be a two-part video. This one and this one, if I can make it all the way through. All right. Now, she knows of him because he'd been suing judges and attorneys and all that. And she is recording one of the attorneys that he is suing. But in family court, uh, he just, people are starting to realize that they actually need to start studying law, and they're standing up and suing all these people. Let's proceed forward. Because judges and attorneys work together in most cases.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's May 4th, 2025. It's a beautiful day in Las Vegas. It rained today. I got the babies with me. Walla and George. We're using the iPhone microphone, so I apologize if you can't hear. I'm having never-ending Bluetooth problems. Tomorrow, in my federal case against several California State Bar employees, judges, Santa Clara County District Attorney Rosen, and others, I have a response to a motion to dismiss. I haven't even read it yet, their motion, but I'm sure it's frivolous. I have most of the arguments and cases memorized and read. They're probably claiming immunity, which you don't get for equitable relief. So even though he's a prosecutor, he can't get relief, or he can't get immunity for any injunction it may seek or any declaratory judgment it may seek.
Now, he does say that he's going to show us how to sue judges and all that in the future when he actually does this. But this is Father in Exile. Okay, so if you want to check him out, obviously I'm not going to be fully invested, but this is for y'all out there to kind of look up, because I know there's a bunch of family members fighting these battles.
Okay, sorry, had to shut the camera off because we were passing by a very aggressive German Shepherd. Very cute, but very neurotic. Check out this view. I don't know how you switch the camera around. I guess you can't switch while I'm recording this way? I don't know. Check it out. It's so beautiful here in the spring. Very hot in the summer. It's beautiful in the summer, but very hot. Anyway, so these State Bar employees, one of them is a board of trustee. One of them is a board of trustee, and the others are investigators and lawyers for the State Bar. So they're probably going to claim qualified immunity, sovereign immunity, all this other nonsense. And as I get success in federal court, I'll talk more about those immunities and how you beat them. But it shouldn't take me too long to respond to this motion. So I'll deal with it tonight and tomorrow, and then I'll file it tomorrow when it's due. The other thing I'm going to file this week is a TRO, or temporary restraining order. I filed a motion for a preliminary injunction 2 weeks ago, asking the federal court to order the Santa Clara County Superior Court CEO and presiding judge to give me access to my court file, which they've been maliciously withholding for 6 years now. It's one of the reasons I don't have my kids, because mother's attorney has been filing fraudulent ex partes. I can't defend myself. His name's Tristan Aishelman, and I caught him twice, at least, with fraudulent ex partes just from mistakes that he made. For example, one time he accidentally had the filing system send me a copy of what he filed, which was different than what he had just served me. as an ex parte. You still have to serve ex partes and give the other party notice. There are rules about that in California. So anyway, that's why I can't get basic due process, is because he defrauds the court, and I can't get my own court file to defend myself. So I gave the California judiciary defendants 14 days to give me access to my court file, the same access that he has, which is remote and free. They don't give me that. I have to go there in person. I don't live in California, and they charge me per copy, like 50 cents per page. So rather than do that, they filed a frivolous response. So my reply is due on Tuesday for the preliminary injunction reply. But since they're not going to comply voluntarily, I'm going to file an emergency temporary restraining order. So we should have some excitement and some updates for you this week, because I haven't done a TRO in federal court yet. And I don't know how it's going to go, especially because I don't live there, so I have to get remote adjudication. So that's it for today. I'll give you an update as soon as I can. Boys, I love you. I miss you. I'm very proud of you. I hope I see you soon.
Sorry about my internet. Or TV. I don't know which is which on this slow.
Wow.
Let's skip all that. Kind of shorten it down.
This is Susan Bassey down at the federal courthouse in San Jose, California, where a group of local lawyers and retired judges held a demonstration exercising their First Amendment rights, but not over police misconduct or state court due process violations. Their concerns go further: federal court politics, judicial independence, and ICE deportations. In state court, many of these attorneys serve in powerful roles. They are private judges, court-appointed minors counsel, or attorneys for children and family court cases. They are criminal defense attorneys, civil litigators, immigration lawyers, and pro bono advocates, mediators, and arbitrators. And they are even retired judges. This is Judge Phil Pennypacker, who recently retired and who was present at this event to have the attorneys retake their oath of office.
Now, when you look around, you'll see some of them not even raising their hand. And with all the corruption that's been going on in family court nationwide, they needed to retake their oath. But why retake it if they're not going to uphold it?
Solemnly we swear or affirm that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the state of California, and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of an attorney and counselor at law to the best of my knowledge and ability. That I serve the court. I will strive to conduct myself at all times with dignity, courtesy, and integrity. Congratulations, you're reaffirmed.
This demonstration was organized by the local bar association, a group that, much like police unions, bands attorneys together over key issues, including politics and the First Amendment. Attorney Sherry Diamond is a familiar face on this channel and an employee of this bar association, and she led the event. and she herself is no stranger to controversy. She was sued in federal court by a man known as Father in Exile, who claimed Diamond shredded his complaint.
And that was the video we just seen. And we're going to get a closer look at to the attorney.
Alleging civil rights violations and earning her the social media title of Sherry the Shredder from local self-represented litigants or pro-pers.
Hi, Miss Diamond? Yeah. I'm Susan Massey. I know.
Sherry Diamond is the individual attorney responsible for organizing free lunches for family court judges and judge awards in the county, developing cozy relationships between attorneys and judges while claiming to protect the independence of the judiciary. She called out the legacy media here for her 15 minutes of fame, but some of us showed up who weren't invited.
Have any thoughts about what happened today?
I couldn't be more thrilled to stand among citizens and colleagues alike and in solidarity in honor of Lady Justice and Lady Liberty, the rule of law, the independence of the judiciary, and the United States and California constitutions.
And I interviewed Judge Pennypacker for a brief second, and one of the attorneys said that they didn't hear, but they, at the beginning, and they were clarifying that he was retired, which is why...
Completely and retired, not an assignment. As he said himself, he got his First Amendment rights back.
And we discussed that. And so, can you just explain to people that a judge sitting...
At the end of
But the attorneys didn't hear it, and so they were asking him about it. So I just want to clarify that's why he was able to be here today. Is that right?
I'm going to move on to this gentleman.
Legacy media reporters rarely understand
She completely ignored that one, y'all.
how to report on the courts. We hear about arrests and legal outcomes, but rarely anything in the middle having to do with the rules of professional conduct that applies to attorneys or judicial ethics, because judges have immunity and they don't have their First Amendment rights, because judges can't stand at these protests and express their views, opinions, and ideas and maintain the independence of the judiciary. But Judge Phil Pennypacker, having retired, helped us along and provides a better understanding of how exactly that applies to attorneys and judges.
My First Amendment rights.
And there is no greater First Amendment right than speaking to a member of the free press, just as Judge Phil Pennypacker did with us.
Hi, Judge Pennypacker.
Hi.
My name's Susan Bassey. I'm a local reporter. I
Yeah.
reported on Judge Rothman's legacy.
Yes.
And so, do you have any thoughts about what just happened here?
I was just pleased with the number of people that showed up. We thought it was going to be smaller, and it just really shows that people care. And the law is a great stabilizing factor, and every one of these lawyers plays a part in that.
And that might be what you would hear on the nightly news. But here, we dive a little bit deeper to give you more information.
Judge Pennypacker?
Yeah.
I heard what one of the attorneys said to you, that they didn't hear at the beginning about the issue about you being retired.
Right.
And Sherry just told me that you commented once you retired, you got your First Amendment rights back. Do you mind explaining that on video
No,
for me
no.
and standing right in front of so I can get that federal courthouse sign behind? So the question was about what judges can do with respect to their First Amendment rights.
By the canons of ethics, we basically lose First Amendment rights. We're not allowed to engage in any politics. We can't even express an opinion about a pending case publicly. We have to really watch and be mindful of any kind of conversation or communications that we have. That includes oral, it includes social networks, it includes written works, and it's very rigorously enforced. And the judges are very sensitive to that in the state of California. We stay back from that line and don't cross it.
I've been checking that on social media because that's a newer concept from when you were a judge. And so I follow judges on social media, and so far, all but one have checked out that they're doing it the way, no political speech or anything like that. I am also reporting on the Persky recall because that is a very disturbing issue. I've been investigating it and reporting on it for the last 5 years, really. And so there were some changes after the Persky recall about permitting judges to speak about certain things.
This is a good point. Thank you for bringing that up. But that does mean the canons were amended to allow judges who are subject to recall or challenged election to communicate why they did certain things, which is, you can't do that.
Which normally you don't do that. You don't explain your creative process. Right.
And your communications, your decisions
Right.
are the communication. And so now, if you're involved in that campaign in some fashion, you have the right to respond to criticism, explain rulings, do things that are consistent with, I guess, what you have to say, any other type of candidate.
Okay. So, and that the Persky recall was really the catalyst to that change.
It was. Judges got the distinct impression that it was so almost vitriolic and so ever present that it was like putting somebody in a fight with their hands tied. And he had tremendous support from the community.
It was really a social media ambush, and Ladoris Cordell spoke a lot at that time about the independence of the judiciary, which I'm trying to juxtapose to this right now. And I do see those parallels, and really the recall was really the first major threat on the judiciary in California.
Well, we've had them in the past. I mean,
Not for 82 years. That's what the Mercury said.
that's what they said, but there have been other attacks. Rose Bird, Chief Justice Bird, back
Yeah.
in 1986.
I know the lawyers that were.
And Justice Marino, I can't remember his name. Wonderful judge. And three of them excellent judges. And it was just, they didn't like the rules. And that's why we have that process. And on a certain level, I just very much think that is a necessary process. Because I think there should be some check. Judges shouldn't be untethered. But by the same token, it hurts when it's done somewhat
The way that was done. And it reminds us that judges are political. I've seen judges saying, I don't want to get involved in politics, but you are because
It's a political office.
It's a political
third
office.
branch of government. Government's political.
That's right. That's right.
And I want to stretch this a little further, right? The people have political power. So the people are political in nature, okay? Men and women have rights, natural rights. People have political power. They are our servants. And then you got the subjects, okay? Just a reminder here.
I'm going to turn my camera off right now, and I'm going to tell you something off record, okay?
All right, Diesel with the People News. I don't know. What do you guys think? Diesel with the People News. Bye, y'all.